Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today we're going to talk about the Xbox Handheld because ever since it officially got revealed, there's been a lot of rumblings about this next era of the console wars because right now it does seem like everybody wants to be in that space. The crazy success of the Nintendo Switch 1 and now the Nintendo Switch 2, we're seeing stuff like PlayStation's PlayStation Portal, which isn't really a standalone device, it just streams the gameplay of your already existing PlayStation 5 to a screen, but we see people trying to do that. We see the Steam Deck, but Xbox is taking a very different direction that I think is kind of stupid. An extremely powerful machine that is extremely expensive. It doesn't really play that many Xbox games, and it doesn't work with Xbox Game Pass. But today, what I want to do is take a look at all the leaks, because now we have the specs, a screenshot of the price, which is way higher than you ever expect, and a lot of people kind of saying, I don't really understand who the Xbox Handheld is for, because even if it's coming this year, I think it's going to be a flop. I think it's going to be one of the biggest mistakes Xbox has ever made, but let's talk about it. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Real quick before we get into all the messy business, let me thank the sponsor of this video, Mecha Break. Thank you to Amazing Season Games for sponsoring this video. I've really been craving a new mech game lately because it's a genre that's just so fun, that clash of metal, that depth of figuring out how best to pilot your mech, and thankfully we now have Mecha Break. This is out now on Steam and on Xbox, and honestly, I cannot stop playing it. This is a free-to-play third-person mech shooter with high-speed combat and really dynamic battles. But what's most cool to me is the 13 unique strikers, which are like the different mech suits, and they each have a different role, from brawlers to snipers to support, and in all the different modes, from 3v3 deathmatch to the unique takes on extraction genres or the hero shooter mode. They're all extremely fun and extremely beautiful with the crazy graphics and cool special effects. It's super fun to just figure it out, but if you want to test it for yourself, Mecha Break is available to download now on both Steam and on Xbox. If you want to check it out, you can use my download link. It's at the top of the description box and a pinned comment. Here it is on screen. Be sure to download it, and I'll see you online. Okay, so with this whole mess about the Xbox Handheld, I keep thinking about the fact that it does feel like everybody has such a different strategy. Nintendo is trying to make a lot of games as cheap as possible, meaning like low budget, not bad quality, but they're constantly trying to churn out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 exclusives every single year of varying qualities. I mean, I don't love every single Nintendo exclusive. I definitely don't love the new Mario Kart, but you can tell that's what they're going for, whereas PlayStation, they're trying to stick with what they know best. Long development time, extremely big budgets, but when you get the game, apparently it's fantastic. Apparently the new Cory Balrog Sony Santa Monica game is going to be the next big thing. This sounds great. Whatever this game turns into, fantastic. Whereas Xbox, they're very much going scattershot. They're going every direction. Let's buy studios. Let's put stuff on other consoles. Let's try to just get people to talk about Xbox, even if it leads to less console sales. But these things, this is a picture from a bit ago, which shows the fact that if you don't know tech stuff, the Xbox Ally X, which is the official name of it, and the Xbox Ally Basic Core, these are very powerful systems. These are things that are going to have literally the best handheld graphics of all time by a pretty significant margin, and I find this interesting because it is kind of that risk versus reward. Xbox very much seems dead set on this idea of the luxury gamer demographic. If we make the best thing, somebody will buy it. The same way that people will spend, thousands and thousands of dollars to make their PC have the craziest graphics possible, even if it's only like 3% better, there are a certain amount of people that will pay thousands of dollars for that extra upgrade. It seems like Xbox is trying to cash in on that. This is the actual price. I'm going to show you the screenshots and everything like that. I want to take a look at a bunch of different Reddits, because all the Reddits, every different Reddit, from gaming to the Xbox to gaming leaks and rumors, everybody is basically saying, yo, this thing is absolutely screwed. But here's kind of the logic I see some Xbox fans pitching. And I find this fascinating because they're not actually wrong. This is going to be the best handheld gaming on the market. It is going to have the best graphics, the craziest, hopefully, battery life. It's got a very good screen, and it does have access to quite a few different crazy launchers. It is weird to think about the fact that you'll play everything from Diablo to Fortnite to your entire Steam library, which does mean that they have tested it, apparently. You can apparently play, if you've bought certain games, like I love playing Spider-Man on my Steam Deck, I can play it on this, and it'll look better than my Steam Deck, but this is the other part of it. Everything. Windows Store, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Game Pass. I thought they said Game Pass isn't going to be on it. I think they said that only certain Game Pass games are going to be on it, but my point is the fact that it's interesting because even if you have the best product, it's about being accessible, right? I keep thinking about something like if you weren't alive during the 80s, which obviously 40 years ago at this point, there was a console war between Atari and early Nintendo, or even Atari versus ColecoVision, which again, very, very old platforms, but Atari was selling like crazy. They had a system called the 2600. The 2600 was a juggernaut. It was the place to play. It had everything on it, right? Well, they started coming out with follow-up consoles too dang quick. The 5200, the 7200, and these extra systems weren't selling. Everybody was like, okay, well, the 2600 is the cheapest. It has the most games. It's the easiest to get. I'm just going to buy the 2600, even if the other versions are better. These other ones still play games, right? I almost think that this is the thing that Xbox doesn't understand. A better system doesn't just mean better graphics. It means more stuff to play, and hopefully as cheap as possible, right? Okay, let me take a look at the leaks. Here it is. So, breaking this down region by region, this thing is going to be 600 euros, 900 euros for the Ally X. People are basically saying for Canadian, that means it's going to be $1,500 and $950 for the basic model. This is going to be ridiculously pricey. Now I'm going to click here. You can see this is the actual picture of the leak. This is the storefront here. So converting that into actual official American price, this is it. $700 American, $1,050. They're probably going to round that down to $999. But all the comments are like, bro, expensive. In this economy, it's fill over. It's fill-spensive. Dead on arrival. Now, this comment is one I specifically want to highlight. This was actually one of the major motivations for this video because I think this person here completely nailed it. If Steam Deck only sold 4 million units in its lifetime, every other PC handheld combined from every other manufacturer sold about 2 million units, an expensive ROG Ally with an Xbox logo slapped on it is definitely dead on arrival. Already existing ROG Allies have already sold poorly. This thing will not even sell 500,000 units in its lifetime. And I guess I keep thinking about that because with a lot of these systems, bigger specs, better screen, cooler grips and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter as much as, in a lot of ways, just being able to pick it up, just being able to play it. Recently, I was on a trip with some friends. We all went tubing. That's why I'm all sunburnt. We were all going down the river, right? Well, yesterday, coming back home, we're road tripping back to North Texas, and we're super dehydrated, hungover, whatever, in the back of the car. Me and my buddy played Mario Kart in the car the whole way home. And you know what? This system has a lot of problems, but the fact that I can just pop off a Joy-Con and immediately start playing Nintendo 64 games with a good screen, with a good battery life if you're playing retro games like that, it's hard to deny the fact that this thing, for as expensive as the Switch 2 is, at least it's playable, at least it's shareable, at least it's accessible. A $1,000 price tag for a graphics boost that is pretty cool. I just keep thinking about the fact that they're very much targeting an audience that I just don't think exists. I wanted to actually take a look at this. This is the Xbox Reddit. This is not some hater Reddit. This isn't the PlayStation 5 Reddit. This is the Xbox Reddit reacting to the official prices here. This was posted 8 hours ago. So these are posts from today. God, all about the same as the non-Xbox versions. Pretty much what I expected. Oof, that is going to be a tough sell. It already has been. These devices are already on the market and can do the same thing, minus the button to pull up the Xbox UI. There are only about 6 million PC handhelds out there right now, and the Steam Deck is around 4 million of them. It's already a niche product, plus it will not play your Xbox games natively, at least not all of them. Add to this the very large percentage of Xbox current user base that is already on the Xbox Series S that they bought for $300 or less. It'd be shocking if this even sold 1 million units. I guess part of what gets me is the fact that I'm always confused about how many meetings were had about this. How many people at the top of Xbox said, we could invest and try to make our own handheld. We could really try to double down and go in a direction before Sony does. There's rumors that Sony wants to do a new handhelds actual console at some point. It sounds like it's going to be roughly the power of a PlayStation 4. That sounds really cool. But a lot of people are like, okay, what if Xbox had beat them to the punch? What if Xbox said, we have more trillions of dollars, we've got more backing, we've got more access, we've got more talks with different graphics cards developers and stuff. What if we just absolutely off the shelf built a crazy handheld now? Some people forget that's what the original Xbox was. 100%. They literally went to their own factories and stuff and said, okay, grab that drive, grab that card. Let's make a system that runs DirectX really good for as cheap as possible so developers can make great games in a short turnaround, right? That's why the Xbox originally was such a big hit. I don't know why they're not doing that. And instead, they're just saying, hey, let ROG Ally, which is already, in my opinion, ROG Ally is the tiniest niche of this niche micro PC handheld market, and saying, hey, you guys are in charge of this. Good luck. I just don't get it. Xbox seems to not care about hardware. In a lot of ways, it seems like they don't care about their fans. Who is this really for? PC gamers that probably already have a Steam Deck that they like a lot more? Is this for luxury gamers with high-paying jobs that are traveling the world and can't sit down to play their Xbox in a normal way and don't want to fly with an Xbox in their suitcase? This product, I want to buy it and review it myself, because the more we learn about it, even with the good power of it and stuff, I'm confused about its purpose. I don't know. What do you think about the Xbox handheld, and who do you think this is for? I really want you guys to kind of break this down, because to me, I really do not get it on even a surface level. But thank you for watching, and thank you to Make or Break for sponsoring this video. If you could please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.